Mel Karmazin is throwing down the gauntlet. There's his words from just, I believe, a few days ago. If John Malone, the media mogul who is seeking to buy SiriusXM, wants to buy that company, I don't want them to get control without paying a premium. John, there's a great business story going on right now, a struggle between Karmazin and Malone for control of the preeminent and perhaps the only radio satellite broadcaster out there. What's going on, and does Karmazin have a point, or is his goose cooked?
I think it's the latter. I mean, really, he has to say this. I mean, you can't sit there and tell shareholders that someone else is going to get control of the company without at least trying to put up a fight. Unfortunately, this deal was made.
So, let's back up a second. Just tell people what happened.
This is a tricky one. There's a lot of history.
Well, keep it simple.
Right to the point. So. Liberty bailed Sirius out in early 2009 during the depths of the crisis.
Right, they got a lot of equity.
That's right. They got 40%. They got preferred shares equivalent to or convertible to 40% of the common stock. And they got this basically in combination with a big loan, about $500 million they extended them. That equity was free. It was several $1,000s. So here we are. Fast forward a few years. Mel Karmazin has been managing the company. It's doing great. Cash flow's gone through the roof. Subscribers are up, and he's a little bit frustrated that Liberty is in a position to take control of the company.
Liberty now owns basically 46% of the company.
That's right. They bought some more. Yeah.
I believe 5 of 12 board seats.
Yeah.
So
5 of 13.
5 of 13. So now they've petitioned to the FCC and they're stating publicly, hey, we want to own this thing outright.
Yeah.
With 46% ownership, with that sort of board representation already.
Yeah.
Hey, this is sort of like almost like a routine matter, right? Kind of a fait accompli. This market's telling you there's not going to be a premium. The stock's unmoved today.
That's right. I mean, the stock's been pretty weak in the last several weeks. Actually, I think part of that may be reflecting investors' realization that Liberty's not going to try to buy the whole thing, and the idea of there being a premium paid is, it's just not realistic. So that's what it looks like. Is that they can, Liberty can. I mean, look, they basically with that kind of a stake. It's not hard to control the board.
Now, John, let's get to the breaking news here. I believe you filed it before we even walked into this room, which makes you an impressive sort of dual dimension reporter. But what's happening? They're in discussions about what, and does that have any significance long term?
Well, I'll tell you, they've been talking for some time. As it's described to me, there's a room with a small number of people in it. The person who told me this isn't one of the people who's in the room, so I'm not sure what they've been talking about. But I mean, there are a number of possible outcomes. The one that I have for a long time believed to be the most likely to play out is a spin-off. So basically, Liberty will give its stake in Sirius directly to its own shareholders. That actually would be a happy ending for Mel Karmazin
because he would keep his control.
Yeah, exactly. So there wouldn't be a controlling shareholder.
So this is John Malone playing for his own shareholders more so than he's playing against Mel Karmazin.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, I think that.
And there's a photo of John Malone. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean. It's possible that Liberty does want to have control and run the company for some time. Otherwise, you'd think they might just spin it out right now. It's complicated, but there is probably a way they could spin it off right now, even without going above 50%.
So, John, now going on your emotional mind and perhaps your rational mind thrown in there, quick answer: who wins in the end, and what does that outcome look like?
I'd say John Malone wins.
Yeah.
Because the stake is now worth several $1 billion. He owns a lot of Liberty stock, and I think it's actually going to get spun out in the end. Though I'm not sure that means Karmazin stays. I think they might take control for a short period of time because they're going to great length to do that, and it's not clear that they need to.
So the real question, John, is can Mel Karmazin stand his ego being assaulted by John Malone?
No.
We'll leave it well, we'll leave it there, John. Come back when we have the latest installment on this corporate takeover saga. Thanks for joining us.